Hello, I'm Eric Snodgrass, and thank you for watching today's midday weather outlook for the southern region, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. Let's begin first where we left off last Friday, which is a look at the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season outlook by the National Hurricane Center. We discussed how their highest probability for the forecast of this upcoming season is for it to be a normal season, but you can see pretty large forecast spread here. Right now, they're predicting this for the number of named storms, 4 to 8 of them becoming hurricanes, and 2 to 4 becoming major hurricanes. But you might notice the spread is sizable here. And that's because there's a lot of things still to be learned and discussed about this upcoming hurricane season. Another great resource for you, go to tropical.colostate.edu. This is the tropical research group out of Colorado State University. They've been producing seasonal hurricane forecasts for decades, and they're very, very good at it. While they are in agreement with the National Hurricane Center right now, what will be discussed in their new update, which will come out on June 4th, will be what will the strength of the current El Nino be by the time we get to the middle of the season? How warm are these ocean temperatures going to stay here just off the southeast coast? And what will the Madden-Julian oscillation be doing? Now, some of the big uncertainty about this upcoming season is over the strength of El Nino. We have to get past what's called the spring barrier. In other words, we need to get into summer to see if we're going to maintain this weak to moderate El Nino, which again is anything above this dashed line on this figure here. If we do maintain that, that would be a favorable signal for the upcoming hurricane season. But as you can see, there's pretty sizable spread in the forecast right now as to the strength of this El Nino for this upcoming summer. Most models indicate that it will maintain a weak status, which would be good for suppressing hurricanes, mainly due to increased wind shear of the Atlantic. But we're going to have to watch out for this. Now, I know this map is a little complicated to look at, but what I want you to just to get a feel for here is as I start showing you these maps throughout the rest of this hurricane season, which remember starts on June 1st, we're going to pay close attention to where we see these negative numbers. And the reason why is because if we see over the Atlantic those negative numbers, those are velocity potential numbers, and that tells me where the atmosphere has kind of had the lid removed, allowing for tropical convection, which again breeds hurricanes. I'll keep you up to date on this every single week. We'll watch it very, very carefully, but I want to give you kind of an idea on some of the stuff we'll be paying attention to. Well, certainly over the last 14 days, there's been a major lack of moisture across much of the southeast, while parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri have had record rainfall amounts. Some of the places there, especially in parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, are just underwater. It has been incredible to see the disparity in precipitation across much of the southern region. In addition to this, if you have felt like things have been a little bit smoky and hazy, it has been. We've had wildfires both in Canada and in Mexico, but those wildfires in Mexico have spread smoke across parts of Texas, getting into really the whole southern region here. You can just see this animation taking you out over the next day or so, showing we're going to continue to see some smoky skies. And in parts of the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, even getting back into New Mexico here, we've had such windy conditions recently that we've kicked up a lot of dust as well in between the thunderstorms. So visibility has been a problem recently across much of the southern region. If we look back over the last 4 days, so let's look back over our weekend here at where we've had severe weather. This really kind of tells the story of the forecast. Notice just yesterday, much of our severe weather was tucked away here in parts of the Corn Belt. The day before that, it kind of arced around like this, and the day before that, back on the 25th here, and then look on the 24th. It's been an exhausting week in trying to study this severe weather, and the reason why is this giant ridge that's over the southeast that just keeps pumping in that moisture, fueling these storms. Well, here's what we have to discuss in this video. Is that ridge staying put or is it moving? We've been suggesting over the last couple of weeks that it is going to move, so let's get right to it. Certainly, we have a few more days to deal with it. Take a look at these two maps here showing you the severe weather potential here on Tuesday and on Wednesday. We clearly see the ring of fire still set up here around the southeast. And if you are inside of any of these regions where you see the slight and the enhanced risk, you need to make sure that you're keeping a very close eye on the radar all day long because we're going to be watching for severe weather to pop up in those areas. But over the southeast, things are relatively calm. It's going to be basically from Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, parts of Missouri, Kansas that are going to be under the gun over the next couple of days. Well, in addition to the extreme temperatures we've been seeing and the dry conditions, I have been noticing that our topsoil moisture across this region from North and South Carolina getting into parts of Florida, Georgia, we have been decreasing that soil moisture amount. Strong evapotranspiration under the high heat has allowed for that topsoil to really, really dry out. Meanwhile, just go west of here and you can see things are incredibly wet. So, forecast. Next 5 days, we're not getting rid of this pattern. Look at the dominance of the southeastern ridge over the next 5 days. We are clearly keeping this area isolated. It's going to be very hot. Expect temperatures in the 90s and in some locations approaching triple digits. And if you get any rain, it's from hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, because the flow is still doing this, it's this quarter and through here that's going to get more adverse weather, more severe weather, and more heavy rainfall, right in the places that we do not want it. So that is your precipitation forecast. This next animation, wherever you see those cooler colored dots, that represents where we have been seeing below average temperatures, some of them approaching record below average temperatures. But where you see the warmer colored dots, like right here on the 27th and 28th of May, we're talking about locations that have seen, well, some extremely warm temperatures such that we're getting within a few degrees of records or breaking records. And that has been the setup. The flow of the atmosphere has just been like this, where the large ridge over the southeast lets the heat come in, and the trough here is what's keeping things, well, much below average in terms of temperatures. Amazing to see that animation. But what are we doing in temperatures over the next few days? Well, certainly on Tuesday, temperatures are starting off very, very warm. Some locations approaching triple digits. But watch as I click play on this to show you how temperatures are evolving throughout this week. Yeah, that played pretty quickly over the next 10 days, but let me step you back here. Ready? So this is Tuesday into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this week we are keeping the southeast really just scorched with temperatures. But do you see as I progress through Saturday into Sunday and Monday of next week, the temperatures, the really hot stuff tends to back off over here to the west again. And we have to talk about that because that is the pattern shift we've been discussing that we were going to see in the beginning of June. Now let's take a look at what the temperatures are doing kind of more broad scale. Over the next 5 days, yeah, the heat is confined here and the pattern is still doing this. But we will be seeing the development of a deeper upper level trough here, which will have part of it extending back toward the southwest. But notice the warmth building into the northwest, and you start to see some suppression of that heat over the southeast as it starts to move in this direction. So we've got to figure that out. Now the problem is, in the near term, that ridge still keeps this region dry and this region very wet. We're looking here at the next 15 days of total accumulated precipitation expressed as an anomaly, so difference from normal. And we see that overall things are staying on the dry side, which is not good. We do need to get some moisture into the southern region, especially east of the Mississippi River. But change is coming, and let me show it to you here. Ready? Here's the pattern we've been in. See that? We're just going to start off this animation just right here. But as I click play, watch this. Watch the southeastern ridge flatten out. Watch a ridge build into parts of Texas. Watch it build into the central part of the United States. And this is just a completely different look. The look I'm talking about is that we're moving over toward a pattern like this. And that is much different from the highly amplified pattern we'd seen like this. So this is a change, and this is a welcome change, and it's going to spread the heat back to the west, and it's going to give us a chance at getting some precipitation over the southeast. Now, I'm just going to play this for you, but what I want you to see is you're going to see multiple rounds over the coming days of severe weather coming in through here. Large ridge over the southeast protecting things there. But watch what happens toward the end of the forecast time period. Ready? We're getting here through Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Look at next week. By the time we get to the middle and end of next week, the whole pattern shifts, and we start to get better chances of seeing scattered showers and thunderstorms across the southeast. Now, why is this so good? Why is this happening? We are finally getting rid of that very suppressive high-pressure system, not only at the surface, but in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So putting that together, take a look. Just getting through the next week where we're still dealing with that, yes, we're keeping this region dry. But you're going to start to see the ring of fire precipitation, which looks like this, well, allowing for some rainfall to get into this region. And check it out. If I just add on from day 7 here to day 10, now you start to see the scattered showers and thunderstorms, which are much more typical of this time of year moving into this area. So that is an important and welcome change in the forecast. And to show you what we're looking at when we get out to middle of June, check this out. I'll be updating you in my long-range forecast, which will come out tomorrow midday. Look at what we're seeing by the time we get to basically the 14th through the 21st of June. My ridge axis seems to be parked back here, general trough in this area. And what does that mean? Well, that means we're not going to be seeing such extreme temperatures across the southern region. And while Texas is staying wet, we don't see over here in the southeast those large dry anomalies like we had been seeing. So this pattern shift is significant, and it's changing a lot for us here across the southern region. So that was a lot to discuss, but I want to get you on the kind of the page that I'm on here, what we're watching as we transition into summer. And we'll go ahead and finish it up right there. We at Nutrien Ag Solutions hope you look forward to all of our forecast videos coming out this week. Be sure to tune into my.nutrienagsolutions.com to see them. I'll talk to you again very soon. Have a great week. Thank you.